Too many veterans never even start the VA claims process, not because they don't deserve it, but because of the myths floating around out there. And those myths, they cost veterans thousands in benefits every single year. In this video, I'm breaking down the top 5 VA claim myths that keep veterans from filing and why they are 100% completely incorrect, erroneous, misled, untrue, false, and wrong. I think you get my point. Number 3 is a gigantic myth that if ignored could cost you when it really matters. Number 2 is something that absolutely 100% is not true, but many veterans just won't believe that. But do me a favor, help me help you. I realize you can just skip to the end, find out what the 5 myths are, and move on with your day, but as you know, the real meat of helping me help you is what is being said, not what is written. So give me 15 minutes or less, and I'll give you enough information to put you closer to or in that 100 club. I'm Mr. X. I'm the guy behind the guy giving you all the information you want to know and need to know about the VA claims process. And this is the VA Top 5. Myth number 5. I wasn't in combat, so I don't qualify. Listen, you don't need a combat action ribbon, a Purple Heart, or a deployment under fire to qualify for VA disability. A huge number of service-connected conditions happen outside of combat. Training accidents, repetitive stress injuries, mental health conditions, hearing loss from working on the flight lines. All of those count. It does not matter where you served. I've seen plenty of veterans who are service-connected at 100%, and they did not even whiff of combat. Now, I know there's some veterans out there that have a problem with that, saying, hey, you don't deserve the 100% because you didn't serve in combat, okay? I don't feel that way. The VA doesn't feel that way, okay? If you served, then it doesn't matter if you saw combat or not, okay? You qualify. The VA doesn't just cover combat injuries. It covers service-connected injuries. The bigger point here, and I'm winking at you. No, you can't see it, but I'm winking at you. Bigger point here is if it started in service or was caused by service, then it counts. Okay? Myth number 5 here, I'm going to write this one down as debunked. Myth number 4, it's been too long since I served. Now, this one gets me fired up, okay? There's no statute of limitations on filing a VA claim, whether you got out 5 years ago, 15 years ago, or 50 years ago. If there is evidence that you served, you can file a claim. I've seen veterans who have waited decades finally file and get thousands in back pay. Okay? Don't let time hold you back. Another example, just recently I saw a claim. Okay? The veteran was born in the 20s or 30s. I forget which, okay? But I know they served in the 50s and they just applied for their first claim. Okay? If that guy can, so can you. Myth number 4, I'm going to write this one down as debunked. Myth number 3 here, my condition isn't severe enough. A lot of veterans shrug off their injuries because they think that they're not bad enough. But here's the deal. The VA rates conditions that may start as a non-compensable 0% evaluation that goes all the way up to 100. Okay? Even if your condition only rates at 10%, that's still monthly compensation, plus access to health care and other benefits. But here's the kicker. Sometimes a so-called minor injury opens the door to secondary claims that can raise your overall rating. What feels small to you could actually be the piece that tips you into a higher rating. Here's a pro tip. A small condition today could spiral or become a bigger issue tomorrow. Let me give you an example of that. Think about hypertension. Oftentimes, hypertension may be only service-connected at a 0%. And you may be thinking, why jump through all those hoops when it's only going to be a 0? Well, that 0 may turn into a 100% evaluation. There are more major conditions that are compensated at a higher rate that are associated with hypertension. Conditions like coronary artery disease, cerebrovascular accidents or strokes, chronic kidney disease, eye conditions. There's numerous conditions that are associated with hypertension. And while you could or might be able to get service connected for all of these conditions at the same time, It's much easier to get service connected for a secondary condition if the primary condition, like hypertension, for example, here, is already service connected. Yes, it's possible that you could do it all in one claim, but I think it's easier on the VA and everyone involved to get the service connected for that hypertension first and then file a claim for the secondary conditions as they arise later. Point is, doesn't matter how serious or not it is, sometimes those small ones turn into mountains, and those mountains could be life-changing, okay? So put in the claim. I'm going to write this one down as debunked. Myth number 2 here. Filing a claim takes benefits away from other veterans. Okay, I don't know who started this rumor, but it needs to go away. It needs to be retired. Filing your VA claim does not take away benefits from other veterans. The VA doesn't just have one pie that we're all fighting for. Okay? Your benefits are yours. They were earned through your service. By not filing, you're not saving anything for anybody else. You're just leaving money and care on the table. If anything, file the claim. If you don't want the benefits or money, I'm sure that money could be used to start an education fund for your kids or grandkids. You can donate the money to charity. There are plenty of options, okay? You could use that money in investments. Put it in crypto for all I care. There's all sorts of options. And if none of those sound appealing, while I'm not a tax professional or an accountant, you could donate the money to charity and then write it off on your taxes. Okay? I get it. There's probably some rules in there and it may or may not apply. I'm not a tax guy. Consult your local tax professional. Point is, though, filing these benefits, if you file today, it doesn't take it away from someone else. Okay, I'm going to write down number 2, myth, as debunked. And myth number 1, I'll get denied, so why bother? Here's the number 1 myth that holds veterans back. I'll just get denied. And yeah, a lot of claims do get denied at first. But here's what the VA doesn't tell you. Denials can be appealed, refiled, or supplemented with stronger evidence. Some of the biggest wins I've seen come from veterans who stuck with it after a denial. Persistence pays off. If you've got the evidence and you got the fight in you, then you can win. One thing I heard, and I absolutely love this, I can't remember if it was someone at the VA or a veteran said, but it says, while you may get a no answer today, that no isn't permanent. It's not written in red ink. There are essentially endless avenues for appeal if you got that fight in you, if you got that dog in you. So, question is, are you up for that one more fight? I know I am. Hell, that's why I'm here, to help you with your fight. Myth number 1, I'm going to put a check mark on this one. I'm going to write a line through it. This one's debunked. All right, wrapping it up here. Myth number 5, I wasn't in combat, so I don't qualify. Debunked. It's been too long since I served. Debunked. My condition isn't severe enough. Isn't serious enough. Myth number 3, that one got debunked too. Filing a claim takes benefits away from another veteran. Debunked. Last one, I'll get denied. So why bother? Yeah, that was debunked too. Now, I want to hear from you. What's the biggest myth that you've heard about VA claims? What's your biggest VA myth about the claim process? Drop in the comments. Let's bust that one together. Okay? Now do me a favor. If you watch this video and you feel like I gave you enough information or gave you enough of a pep talk per se to where you're now motivated to file that claim, then you owe me a thumbs up. Please drop a comment, if not a myth. Drop me a comment. Here's my question for you today. What's the one military skill that surprisingly helps you in civilian life or at work today? For me, I can tell you right now, it's the grind. You may be faster, smarter, stronger, but you're not going to outwork me. I'll grind it. All right. In the end, please subscribe for more no fluff VA claim tips broken out with a little humor and some honesty. I'm Mr. X. Thanks for being with me. I filed that claim today. That's the VA Top 5.